Welcome back to VANIMER. You know, I still remember the exact moment I opened the first chapter of this series. To be honest, this wasn't just another story for me. This was actually the very first Korean manhwa I ever read. Now, depending on when you found this series, you might know it by different names. The original novel is often translated as Only I Level Up. But let's be real, the name that broke the internet, the name that defines this legacy, is Solo Leveling. So that is what we're rolling with today. I remember scrolling down that vertical format for the first time and being blown away. I knew right then that this story was going to change everything, and I wasn't wrong. It created an impact all over the world. So today, I'm going to take you through everything: the anime, the novel, the manhwa, and the games. Quick disclaimer: this video contains transformative commentary and analysis under Section 107 of the Copyright Act. All footage, images, and characters belong to their respective owners. Please support the official releases. Also, because this is such a massive topic, I'm hyped to say I collaborated with xZENITSUx again for this project. We crushed it on the Demon Slayer video, so we're teaming up once more to do justice to the Shadow Monarch. Make sure to check his channel in the description. But before the anime and before the art, there was the text. It all started on July 25th, 2016. Solo Leveling was first serialized on Kakao Page, Korea's massive digital platform. Later, it was published physically by D&C Media under their fantasy label Papyrus. Now, for the collectors out there, the first edition ran for 14 volumes. The second edition was condensed into 10 volumes. For us English readers, it was a bit of a journey. It was first licensed by Web Novel under the title Only I Level Up from 2018 to 2019. But the physical books you see on shelves today, those are from Yen Press, who published the second edition from 2021 to 2023. If you want the full story, every detail, you are looking at 13 main volumes plus one side story volume. That is 248 chapters plus 22 side stories for a grand total of 270 chapters of pure peak fiction. Oh, and one quick correction I have to mention for my English collectors out there, because I don't want you getting confused. While the original Korean release had 10 volumes, the English version by Yen Press combined them into 8 large omnibus volumes. So if you are buying them, here is the roadmap. We start with Volume 1, moving to the Demon Castle in Volume 2, the Jeju Island build-up in Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, the Monarch's War in Volume 6 and 7, and finally, the epic conclusion in Volume 8. So if you see Volume 8 as the finale, don't panic, you have the full story. However, if you want the ultimate flex, I just saw this on Amazon, the Solo Leveling Novel Omnibus. This beast combines all 8 novels into one single book. So if you spot this massive edition, grab it. That is the entire legend in one go. But let's be honest, as amazing as the novel is, we all know what truly made this series legendary: the art, the manhwa. On March 4th, 2018, the official webtoon adaptation launched, and it instantly blew up. This was the moment the series went from a great story to a global phenomenon. Illustrated by the incredible DUBU Jang Sung-Rak and produced by Redis Studio, the manhwa didn't just adapt the story, it evolved it. He created that iconic blue glow aesthetic, the vertical scrolling action, and the character designs that the entire world fell in love with. Sadly, while he was changing the industry, DUBU passed away in July 2022 due to a cerebral hemorrhage stemming from chronic health issues. It honestly hurts to think about. He gave his health and his life to create this masterpiece, pushing through deadlines to deliver this art week after week. He never got to see the anime finally premiere, but his legacy is absolutely immortal, living on in every single panel of the series. Even though he is gone, the work he left behind is complete. The manhwa ultimately ran for 179 main chapters, but they didn't leave us hanging. They later released 21 side story chapters, an epilogue that beautifully sets up the future and gives us the closure we needed. So, if you are planning to binge read it today, you are looking at a perfect 200 chapters of dominance. Now, if you want to own this artwork in your hands, you need to look for the physical manhwa volumes. A quick heads up for my collectors. Do not mix these up with the novels. The manhwa is published in English by Eyes Press, an imprint of Yen Press. Unlike the novels, these are printed on high quality glossy paper in full colour, exactly how DUBU intended. The entire 200 chapter run is being collected into roughly 14 to 15 physical volumes. So, if you see the books with the sleek black covers and the character art on the front, that is the comic. That's the one you open up to see the art. And also, the official English translation for Solo Leveling for Volume 15 will be released on March 17th, 2026. It is not currently available for purchase, so you can pre-order it. And finally, after years of anticipation from the global community, the Dungeon Gate opened on our screens. The anime adaptation officially premiered on January 7th, 2024. It was brought to life by the renowned studio A1 Pictures under the direction of Shunsuke Nakashige, and story composition by Noboru Kimura. And I have to mention the soundtrack, composed by the legendary Hiroyuki Sawano, who gave this series the epic scale it deserved. The anime had an incredible run, concluding its first 25 episodes, covering both Season 1 and Season 2. On March 30th, 2025, it was broadcast across major networks like Tokyo MX and licensed globally by Crunchyroll, with MediaLink handling the Southeast Asia region. So we currently have 2 full seasons of content available right now. But to understand how we got here, we have to remember how it all started. Let's rewind the clock to the double dungeon and the origin of the Shadow Monarch. Here is exactly how the weakest hunter began his journey. Season 1. Recap starts now.
More than a decade ago, a series of pathways appeared connecting our world to another dimension. The other side of these gates teemed with bizarre creatures. Some humans awakened abilities to combat the threat. They are known as hunters, and the magic coursing through them determines their rank.
I've stared death in the face plenty of times since I became a hunter.
Is that kid like a big deal or something?
Call him the weakest hunter of all mankind. Hang behind the rest of the pack and don't get yourself hurt.
It isn't their fault I'm so weak. Still, I'm the only one who can provide for my family. Mom! Mom, you've got to wake up!
What's wrong with her?
Final rest, an illness that came into existence with the appearance of the gates.
I don't want money. I need it.
This has to be a double dungeon.
What is that thing? We gotta get out of here!
There has to be a way to escape!
Get down now! I wish I had another chance. Was that just a nightmare? Once a hunter's power manifests, it doesn't change unless they have a rare second awakening. I have no idea what any of this means. These screens are not hallucinations. I also get ability points. I'm stronger now.
Have you been working out?
Yeah, a little.
Hey there, E rank, right?
Will that be an issue?
We need you to meet the quota, and that's more important than your rank.
What's this nagging feeling?
Go ahead and seal off the entrance to the lair you want.
I knew it. I'm the sole person who can level up. Another key? Demon's Castle. There's a magical cure-all in there. The elixir of life. I won't give in to fear. I'll fight and take what's mine.
You expect us to fight alongside criminals?
We've little choice in the matter due to the shortage of local hunters. You'll also be joined by an overseer from the association. Please understand.
Something isn't right. What happened here?
It's far more fun killing people than it is killing beasts.
Look at
that agility. No. A job change quest. The stronger I get, the more I feel something inside of me falling apart. But the system wants me to live. What the? Necromancy. Summon undead monsters as servants. Arise. You're with me now.
And that was the origin. Jinwoo went from the world's weakest to the necromancer. But if Season 1 was about surviving, Season 2 is about dominating. Now, full transparency with you guys, I really wanted to give you a full frame-by-frame anime recap for Season 2. But the YouTube copyright system, it is honestly a harder boss than the Ant King. If I showed too much raw footage, this video would get taken down instantly. So I had to adapt. Instead of a standard recap, I've curated the absolute best related clips and high quality manhwa images to visualize the story without breaking the rules. Trust me, it hits just as hard. So let's get into it. Season 2 picked up right where we left off. This season ran for 13 episodes, completing the first major run of the anime with a total of 25 episodes. We move away from the dungeons and step into the open world. The stakes get higher, the enemies get bigger, and the shadows, they get a whole lot stronger. It kicks off with the Red Gate arc. Jinwoo gets trapped in a frozen wasteland with a B-rank guild. This is where the training wheels come off. He summons his new shadow army to slaughter the Ice Bears and the Ice Elves. It wasn't a fight, it was an execution. But the real hype was the loot. He defeats the massive Alpha Bear and extracts his shadow, creating the first beast-type soldier, Tank. A literal tank made of shadows. But this arc also gave us a reality check. The boss of the dungeon, the Ice Elf leader Baruka, was a monster. Jinwoo barely took him down, but when he tried to extract him, it failed. The system denied him. This was a huge moment because it was the first time we saw Jinwoo take a loss on a summon. It proved that the Shadow Monarch isn't a god yet. But amidst all these new summons, we have to acknowledge the OG, Igris. While Jinwoo is collecting tanks and mages, Igris is right there, sword in hand, watching his back. He might not be the loudest shadow, but he is the most loyal. He is the blood-red commander for a reason. And seeing him level up alongside Jinwoo in Season 2 was pure satisfaction. Then we climb the Demon Castle. We see the army evolve, gaining the Wyvern, Kaisel, and the High Orc spellcaster, Tusk. Jinwoo went from struggling in caves to dominating S-rank hunters in sparring matches. But let's be real, all of that was just a warm-up for the main event, Jeju Island. The S-rank raid team was getting absolutely slaughtered. And then he showed up. The Ant King. Just look at this clip. The speed, the brutality. And I have to mention this. I know for a fact that Beru is xZENITSUx's absolute favourite shadow. And watching him destroy the S-ranks here, you can see exactly why. The moment Jinwoo uses Shadow Exchange to save the day and finally commands him to arise, that is the single greatest moment in the entire anime run so far. And that is where the anime currently stands. Jinwoo has moved from a hunter to a king. He beat the monster into submission and gave us the most satisfying command of the entire series, Arise. And with that, the most dangerous enemy became the strongest soldier, Beru. If you thought Igris was cool, Beru is a whole different level of savage, and here is the real game changer. Beru is the first shadow who can actually speak. He isn't just a mindless beast, he has a personality, and his loyalty is absolute. From calling Jinwoo my liege to acting as the army's general, healer and assassin. He is the ultimate weapon. Before we wrap this up, I just want to say a quick sorry to you guys. I had to cut some of the specific anime clips and story details I originally planned to show in this video. To be honest, the YouTube copyright system is a tougher boss than the Monarchs. I really didn't want to risk the channel getting erased by a strike. So if some parts felt a bit faster than usual, that is why. I wanted to make sure this video stays up so you guys can actually watch it. I hope the manhwa visuals still did justice to the story, but the solo leveling universe didn't just stop at the screen. If watching Jinwoo dominate wasn't enough for you, it's time for you to become the player. I'm talking about Solo Leveling, Arise. This is the official global action RPG developed by Netmarble. Now, a little story time. I was actually one of the very first pre-registered players for this game. I was there on day one, ready to grind. And honestly, the game is incredible. The combat, the graphics, the way they adapted the story, it's perfect. But I have a sad confession. Even though I love it a lot, I actually had to delete it recently. Not because the game is bad, but because my mobile device just couldn't handle the power of the Shadow Monarch. It was literally melting my phone. It hurts to say it, but hardware issues are the real final boss. However, just because I can't play it right now doesn't mean I don't respect it. It is hands down the best way to experience the series interactively. And also, we aren't just talking about one title. We have the PC client for the hardcore grinders. We have the mobile version for playing on the go. And Netmarble has officially confirmed a console action RPG adaptation is currently in development to bring Jinwoo to PlayStation and Xbox. Basically, every platform is getting a dungeon break. But the expansion of this franchise isn't limited to pixels and drawings. There is a hidden quest currently in production that has the whole community talking. The live action adaptation. Now normally when we hear live action anime, we get scared. We think of Dragon Ball Evolution, but this time the system might actually be cooking. Now we all know live action anime can be risky, but Netflix has promised a world-class global VFX team specifically to bring the Shadow Soldiers and dungeons to life. They are currently in the active filming phase, with industry reports targeting a release window of late 2026 or early 2027. So, we have a bit of a wait, but if it means we get a movie quality egress, I'm willing to wait. And quickly, before we go, a side quest appeared. If you are in Seoul right now, there is actually a Solo Leveling on Ice musical scheduled to run from December 24th to December 31st, 2025 at the Mukdong Ice Rink. I am not joking. It stars Jae from Icon as Sung Jinwoo. Seeing the Shadow Monarch ice skating wasn't on my bingo card for 2025. But hey, this franchise is doing everything. The legacy continues in Solo Leveling Ragnarok. This is the official sequel, and the manhwa is currently releasing right now. It follows Sung Soo-ho, Jinwoo's son, while his father is off in space fighting a war against the outer gods, the Atarim. Soo-ho is on Earth, unlocking his own powers. And the best part? His guide is none other than Baru, but in a tiny chibi form. If you loved the power leveling aspect of the original, Ragnarok brings that hype back perfectly. Read it. And finally, for the anime only watchers asking about Season 3. Since Season 2 ended with the Jeju Island raid, Season 3 is going to cover the Arjun Guild arc and the return to the Double Dungeon. We are also heading straight into the Japan crisis. The stakes are about to shift from hunting monsters to war with monarchs. So if you thought the Ant King was strong, you haven't seen anything yet. So from the manhwa to the anime, the games, and now live action, Solo Leveling is officially taking over the world. I could talk about this series for hours, but I want to make a deal with you guys. If this video hits 3,000 views, I will do a full in-depth breakdown of the monarchs and the deep lore of the system. And finally, I want to talk to you guys, the guild members. I know it has been a few months since my last upload. I had to step away for a bit to handle some life stuff and upgrade the setup. But seeing you guys stick around and wait for me, that genuinely means the world. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for keeping the channel alive while I was recharging. We are back now, and we aren't stopping. Massive shout out to my brother xZENITSUx for collaborating on this project. He is grinding just as hard, so do me a favour, go to the description, click his link, and smash that subscribe button for him. Let's get his numbers up. If you enjoyed this comeback special, leave a like share it with a friend, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next gate opening. Jinwoo went from E rank to the Shadow Monarch, and we are just getting started. This is VANIMER signing off.